There's a pattern that shows up in almost every struggling community, and it's not what most people think. It's not low engagement or bad content, it's not even the platform. It's something that happens on day one, before the first member even joins. The builder makes a choice, usually without realizing it. They decide to build a community instead of building community. And I know it sounds like the same thing, but it's really not. That distinction is the difference between communities that thrive and communities that die slowly while the founder is burning out trying to save them. And the interesting part of that is that the builders who get this wrong work just as hard as the builders who get it right, and sometimes even harder. It's the same effort, but different results. In the next few minutes, I'm gonna break down exactly what this distinction is, why it matters, and how to tell which one is actually happening in a community. So let's get into it. All right, so here's the core distinction. Building a community is noun thinking. The focus is on creating a place, a container, a platform. Builders in this mode spend their time on structure, channels, courses, categories, welcome sequences, onboarding flows, making everything organized and clean. The implicit assumption is that if I build the right container, behavior is going to happen inside of it automatically. So that's noun thinking. Build the thing and hope for the outcome. But building community is verb thinking. The focus is on facilitating experience, connection, transformation. Builders in this mode spend their time on behaviors, interactions, outcomes, member-to-member value creation. The approach is, I'm designing conditions where specific behaviors happen naturally. That's verb thinking, design for behavior. The container only serves the outcome. And here's what's fascinating about that. School communities are the perfect case study. Every school community has identical features, the same structure, the same capabilities, same tools. But if you notice, some are ghost towns and some are thriving. It's the same container, completely different results. So we know the difference isn't the platform, it's what the builder designed for. Did they design a place for people to be, or did they design conditions for people to connect? One builds containers, the other builds culture. And culture is what separates communities that work from communities that simply don't. So here's what happens when someone builds a community instead of building community. They end up in the founder dependency death spiral. And it looks like this. The founder posts content, minimal response. So they post more content, minimal response. So they post even more content. Now they're creating content daily, multiple times a day, trying to generate engagement through sheer volume. Meanwhile, members are consuming, not contributing, not connecting with each other, just waiting for the founder to drop the next post. So then the founder becomes the sole source of value, the center of everything, the reason anyone shows up, which sounds good until you realize what that actually means. It means when the founder stops, everything stops. Take a week off, the community goes silent. Get busy with other things, engagement drops to zero. You want to step back and let members lead? Nobody's going to step up. That's not community. That's an audience in a container. And here's the brutal part. The founder is working incredibly hard, creating valuable content, showing up consistently, doing everything they think they're supposed to do. But they designed the wrong damn thing. They designed for consumption, not interaction. They built a stage, not community. And you can't fix that with more content or better engagement tactics or even working harder. Because the problem was never the effort, it's the architecture. So what does building community actually look like? Well, here's a simple test. If the founder disappeared for a week, would members still interact with each other? In communities built the first way as containers, the answer is no. Silence. Nothing happens without the founder being present. In communities built the second way as culture, the answer is yes. Members keep engaging, keep helping each other, keep creating value together. The founder's presence isn't required for a community to function. Because in reality, the value doesn't flow from founder to member, it flows from member to member. And here's what that looks like in practice. Someone asks a question. 3 other members answer before the founder even sees it. All 3 answers are valuable. The person gets what they need. The founder wasn't even involved. Now someone shares a win. 5 members celebrate with them immediately. The recognition is genuine. The founder didn't prompt it. It just happened there. So a new member joins. Other members welcome them, share their stories, make them feel welcomed. The founder didn't orchestrate it. The culture does. That's community. The founder's role shifts from being the center to being the architect, the host, the role model of the community. They're no longer creating all the value. They're creating the conditions where the value creation happens naturally between the members. They design the environment, set the norms, establish the behaviors, then step back and let the system run. They're there to support the value that the members are delivering, host the space, be the role model, not the focus. That's leverage. And that's what actually scales. Now here's a deeper layer to that. This isn't just about tactics or structure. It's about identity. When someone builds a community, they are the identity. They're the expert, the authority, the source of knowledge. Members join to get access to them, to learn from them, to benefit from their experience. Everything revolves around the founder's identity. Now, when someone builds community, the outcome is the identity. The members aren't there for the founder necessarily. They're there for the transformation they're all pursuing. The shared goal, the shared interest, the shared common journey, the result that they all want. Now, the founder might facilitate that journey through their experience or their experiences, but they're not the journey itself. One makes the founder irreplaceable, the other makes the founder unnecessary. And unnecessary is exactly what great community builders aim for. Because here's the truth. Communities that depend on the founder's personality don't scale. They can't. There's only one of that person. Communities that depend on the founder's daily presence burn out every single time. But communities built around shared transformation, where members get to help each other, those scale, those last. Those are the ones that become movements. The founder can step back, take a break, focus on other things like making it even better. And the community doesn't just survive, it thrives. Because it was never about them in the first place. It was about what members were becoming together. And that's the shift that most community builders miss. All right, so here's the diagnostic that anyone can run right now. Look at the last 10 posts of any community, including your own. How many were the founders sharing their expertise, like value posts? How many were designed to spark member-to-member interaction? That ratio is going to tell you the whole story. If it's mostly founder-generated content, that's a community, a platform, a container. If it's mostly prompts, questions, challenges that get members talking to each other, or even requests for feedback, that's community. Here's the second diagnostic. If the founders stopped posting for 1 week, what would happen? Would members keep engaging, or would everything go silent? That answer is going to reveal to you what was actually built. So here's the third diagnostic. When someone asks a question, who answers? Is it the founder every time? That's dependency. Is it other members jumping in first? That's community. Now, these aren't value judgments. They're just patterns. And it's those patterns that reveal what was actually designed. Now, here's what this means. For builders who realize that they built the first thing, the container, there's good news. It's fixable. The foundation can always be changed. Just stop optimizing for structure and start designing for behaviors. Stop being the sole content creator. Start facilitating member-to-member value. Stop measuring by member count and start measuring by interactions that happen without the founder involvement. This shift isn't about working harder. It's about building different. Now, here's the thing about this distinction. Seeing this pattern is only step one. Knowing what to build instead requires clarity. Clarity on what the community is really about. Not the surface level description, the actual transformation that happens. And most builders skip this part. They jump straight into the tactics, the structure, the content calendars, all the courses. But there's a framework for getting this clarity. It takes about 30 minutes and it changes everything that comes after. And I broke it down in another video, how to define your community identity with surgical precision within 30 minutes. So everything built after that actually works. So watch that one next, because clarity is the foundation. Without it, builders are just guessing. And guessing doesn't build community, design does. So I'll see you in the next one.